Hi there, you want an 800 on the SAT math section? Then continue to watch this video and remember to like, subscribe, and comment below where you can vent your frustration and we will have a nice therapy session for everyone. See? It's a win-win. Remember, subscribing means you get to see all my other testing strategies for this darn test. In this video, we will cover Section 3 Math No Calculator from SAT Practice Test 1. We will use the elite approach. We will cut through all the red tape and show you the heart of each problem and how you could jam your pencil right through it. Want to see the step-by-step standard red tape blood-sucking mind-numbing detailed approach? Watch my standard approach videos, links below. Hey, what can I say? I'm an engineer. Paying relentless attention to detail is kind of like what I do for a living. With that said, let's do this and crush this darn test. So, question 1. Holistic point of view. This is a simple substitution. This question should take you about 10 seconds. What you need to do is replace k with 3 here. Cross multiply equals 9 plus 1 plus 1 x equals 10. That's your 10 That's what I'm talking about. Question 2. So what is question 2 really testing you? Holistic point of view. They are trying to see if you know that you're supposed to add only like terms. So as a result, this question is only 10 seconds. So it tells you I is equal to square root minus 1. The trick is to not repeat or rewrite anything as little as possible. So what you do, you just write the first term underneath the second term and just add them up. So because this is a plus term, I don't need to switch any signs. So 9 plus 3 is 12i. Minus 8 plus 7 is minus 1. Answer is A. And boom. Question 3, based on what we have, it looks like a passage. So we go to the end. Which of the following represents the total number of messages sent by Armand and Tyrone on Saturday afternoon? Fairly simple question. This should take about 15 seconds. Armand sent M text messages each for 5 hours. So M text messages each for 5 hours. And Tyrone sent P text messages each hour for 4 hours. The answer is C. No problem. It's a little longer because you actually have to spend some time reading the passage. Question 4. We have another passage question. Skip to the end. What is the meaning of the 108 in this equation? So that's what it's looking for. Holistic point of view, if you notice here, what's different for each of the answers, they have different units. So let's see how that helps. Kathy is a repair technician for a phone company. Each week she receives a batch of phones that needs repair. The number of phones that she has left to fix at the end of each day can be estimated with the equation this, where P is the number of phones left and D is the number of days she has worked that week. What is the meaning of the value of 108 in this equation? But because this is a larger passage, this should take about 20 to 30 seconds to answer. So we know that P is defined as the number of phones. So if this is the units on the left side, the right side must also be the same unit. What has as a unit? Which answer has a unit with the number of phones? So this is the only one, B. That's what I'm talking about. Because the answer is the only one with the correct units. Number 5. So number 5, what you have here is it's testing you whether or not you know to add only like terms together. Trick here is that you have a minus sign before the second term, so that means you must flip all the signs in the second term. This question should only take you about 10 seconds. So what do? You take it and you put down, you switch all the signs in the second term, and then you write the first term right on top of the second term. Do as little rewriting as possible. Make sure you line up the correct terms on top of each other. Y squared term cancels. I'm left with 2xy, and 5 minus 3 gives me plus 2xy squared. The answer is C. Excellent. 6 is also a passage. Jump to the end. Based on the model, what is the estimated increase in inches of a boy's height each year? So you're looking for some type of measurement. Just by reading this and looking at the question, this question should take you about 20 seconds because it's a passage question. Just a quick reminder, this is really the y is equal to mx plus b. It's the equation of a line. So this is really your slope. This is your constant. That means your yearly change should be 3, right? Based on the equation. So this is your yearly change. A pediatrician uses the model above to estimate the height h of a boy in inches in terms of the boy's age A in years between ages 2 and 5. Based on this model, what's the estimated increase in inches of a boy's height each year? With that said, because this is the only one that varies, this is the constant. Each year is A, so that means for every year he grows 3 inches. Answer is A. Boom. Question 7. Question 7 looks kind of intimidating, but it's really not. Holistically, you look at this question, you take a quick glance at the answers, and it's not really simplifying the question for you. Jump to the end. Which of the following gives P in terms of M, R, and N? So what this means is whether or not you can solve for P by moving a whole bunch of things around. I would suggest to you is to not do any of this math other than to relabel them. A, B, and the whole denominator as C. So you move the denominator here, you move both A terms here, and what do you get? You should have M times C divided by A times B is equal to P. So which one has it? Well, B is the only one with C on top, A and B in the denominator. Answer is B. This question should only take about 10 seconds. Nice. Question 8. Holistically, it doesn't look that bad. What it is that you need to know that this A over B term is 2, and then when you flip this, it looks like B over A is equal to 1 over 2. That's because A over B is really 2 over 1. So when you flip it upside down, this is what you get. In reality, this is a 10-second problem. They want you to stick a 4 in front of this. So stick a 4 in front of this, multiply this by 4, and then you get 2. Answer is C. So that was easy, right? So questions 1 through 8 should take you almost about 2 to 3 minutes tops, and it really wasn't that difficult. You know what else is easy? Please remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment below. It would be much appreciated. Good. So question 9 kind of starts the medium difficulty of the exam. You're expected to spend about 30 seconds to about a minute on each one. And the reason is because there's a little bit more to do and each questions do get a little bit more tricky. So with that said, question 9. It looks like a system of equations and holistic view. There seems to be repeat, but none of the x's are repeat. So it'll be easy to eliminate y and solve for x. Looking at these two questions, what do I do? This question should only take you about 30 seconds to 1 min, depending on how much time you spend rewriting the equation. It will be easier for me to rewrite the second equation and multiplying this whole thing by -2. When you rewrite, please remember to put the correct terms on top of each other. So I have -2 times 2y, that gives me -4y. -2 times -x gives me 2x is equal to -2 times -19 is equal to positive 38. Sum them all up. These two terms cancel. I have 5x is equal to 15. Divide both sides by 5. X is equal to 3. The only answer with x equals to 3 is B. And boom. You got the answer. Move on. Okay, question 10. So we have an algebraic expression. We have an x squared term here. For the function g defined above, a is a constant and g of 4 is equal to 8. What is the value of g of -4? Well, in reality, this is a 10-second question. The reason is because when you plug 4 into here, you get 8. However, the only term here with an x is x squared. So when you square 4, you get 16, and you square -4, you also get 16, which means the answer is still 8. Answer is A. That's what I'm talking about. Question 11 in this case is a passage. Go to the end. What is the price per pound of beef when it is equal to the price per pound of chicken? This said something equal to each other. That's what it tells you. So in this particular case, given the complexity of the problem, it should take you 1 minute to about 1 minute and 30 seconds. So you have a system of equation. In the equation above, B and C represents the price per pound in dollars of beef and chicken. So this is the beef, this is the chicken. Respectively, X weeks after July 1st during the last summer. What was the price per pound of beef when it was equal to the price per pound of chicken? So set them equal to each other. So this is equal to 1.75 plus 0.4x. So combine like terms. So since this is a smaller x, move x term over to the right side and then move the whole number over to the left side. As a result, what do you get? So this here becomes 0.15x. 2.35 minus 1.75. This comes out to 0.60. X is then equal to 4. With x equals to 4, so you have a choice. Plug it into the first equation or the second equation. The first equation will be easier because 4 quarters and $1. So $1 plus 2.35. So 1 plus 2.35 gives me 3.35. Answer is D. like a boss. Number 12, holistically, so you have a whole bunch of 7s here. These are here. So the x's are the ones that change. You have a lot of repeats in the y. So this question should take you about 30 seconds. A line in the xy plane passes through the origin and has a slope of 1 over 7. Top number, change in y over change of x. That's the meaning of a slope. So let's draw this real quick. Passes through the origin. So it goes up 1 over 7. Up 1 over 7. Up 1 over 7 is about here. And the next one about here. That is my line. Which of the following points line on that line? 0 and 7. Wrong. 1 and 7. So 1 and 7. That's the wrong slope. 7 and 7. That's up here. Wrong. 14 and 2. That's this point right here. Answer is D. Boom. Number 13. If x is greater than 3, which of the following is equivalent? So a holistic view first. You have this term here, and you have a whole bunch of answer here. Doesn't really look simplified. This question should take anywhere between 1 minute to about 2 minutes, depending upon how much rewriting you do. So what do I have here? Just remember that whatever you get from the sum of the denominator, you need to flip it because it's 1 over the sum of the denominator. So in the denominator, you have two fractions with unlike denominators. So how do you combine them? So you need like denominators first. So you multiply the second term by x plus 2 over x plus 2, which is really 1. And you multiply the first term by x plus 3 over x plus 3 because that's also equal to 1. So you haven't changed anything. In the numerator of the denominator, you have 2x plus 5 over. So just remember to FOIL this out. So you have x squared, which is this one. Then you have this one plus 3x. Then you have plus 6 plus 2x. All this is the denominator. So this simplifies to x squared plus 5x plus 6 in the denominator. As I said before, since this is 1 over all that information, you need to flip it. Which of the answers has this in the numerator and the numerator in the denominator? Answer is B. With one hand tied behind my back. Okay, question 14. This one focuses on exponents. It looks difficult, but it's really not. It's really telling you to make this look like that. So in general, this question takes anywhere between 1 minute to about 1 minute and 30 seconds. And the reason is this. Rules of exponents. What do you need to do? Well, let's try to get into the same base first. So 8 is really 2 to the 3, and then that to the x. So I could rewrite this as 2 to the 3 to the x over 2 to the y. The next thing you need to know is that anything in denominator is really a negative exponent in the numerator. So you could rewrite this further as 2, 3x times 2 to the minus y. If you notice, this kind of looks like that, doesn't it? That means you could substitute in 12 into here. This then is equal to 2 to the 12. The answer is A. Just like that. We're about to start the hard portion of the exam, but as you know, questions aren't so bad in the medium difficulty section. But you know what else is easy? Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment below. It will really help out this channel. So you look in here, so it tells you that this here is equal to this for all values of x, and a plus b is equal to 8. What are two possible values for c? So this is the C value here. This is your A and B values. So it tells you that the sum of A and B is 8. So in reality, this question should take anywhere from 1 minute to 1 minute and 30 seconds. And the reason is this: what adds up to 8? That will possibly give you a 15 here when multiplied together. The only two that I know is 3 and 5. So 3 and 5 multiplied together gives you 15. So it could either A be 3 or 5, or B is equal to 3 or 5. Can't be the same, but you could switch them, right? So let's assume that A is 3 and B is 5. So the middle term is 3 times 7 is 21, and 2 times 5 is 10. So that means this is 31. But you could stop right there because the only one that has 31 and the answer is D. That's my answer. Boom. So as you know, we are no longer in the multiple choice portion of the exam. You need to fill in the answer now for each of the remaining questions. Question 16. If t is greater than 0 and t squared minus 4 is equal to 0, what is the value of t? This is basically simple substitution. This is a 10-second question. So the only way to get this equal to 0 is t is equal to 2 or minus 2. Because t has to be greater than 0, the answer is t is equal to 2. Boom. Question 17. There's a small passage, so go to the end. What is the value of x? That's what it's looking for. What is the value of x? Where is x? x is over here. So we have two lines that are intersecting at B from what it looks like, and here's the passage. Similar triangles. This should take you between 2 minutes to about 3 minutes. And why is that? Well, there's a lot of reading and you have to digest a lot of information. A summer camp counselor wants to find a length x in feet across a lake is represented in the sketch above. The lengths represented by AB, EB, BD, and CD on the sketch are determined to be 1800 feet AP. So this is 1800 feet. EB is 1400 feet, so EB is 1400 feet. BD is 700 feet, so BD is 700 feet. CD is 800 feet. Segments AC and DE intersect at B, and angle AEB and angle CDB have the same measure. So what does this tell you? That this is the same as this angle. We also know that because when two lines cross each other, their angles, opposite angles, are also the same, so represent by that. And the last angle we represent by 3, which is this. So now you have to do an equation for the sides. Opposite of the 2 here, I have big triangle to be x, and this is over 800 on the smaller triangle. And the last one we have to look for is opposite of the 3 marker, because those we have answers. So on the big triangle, this is 1400, and on the small triangles, this is 700. So as a result, we need to cross multiply and get our answer. So this is really 2x is equal to 1600 feet. That was one-handed. Question 18. This is a simple system of equation. This should take about 30 seconds. So according to the system of equation above, what is the value of x? So if you're looking for x, you try to eliminate y. So how do I eliminate y from this thing? Well, looks like if I multiply the top equation by -2, that should do it. So please remember to line up the proper terms. So I have -2x minus 2y plus, because -9 times -2 is plus 18. I sum them up. Here I have sum up this equation with this one here. So I have minus x, the y's cancel, and I have 18 minus 25 is equal to -7. X is equal to 7. This is why it's only a 30-second question. And boom. Question 19. This one here deals with, looks like your sine, just cosine. And honestly, this only takes about 30 seconds. This one is really testing you on whether you know how a triangle works. So let's just draw this out really quick. So this is a right triangle that looks like so, with the right angle here. I'm gonna call this x. It tells you the sine of x is 4/5. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So this is 4 and that's 5. Let's write this down. Opposite over hypotenuse. Asking you what's the cosine of 90 minus x. The only angle that's left with 90 minus x is this one. So what is the cosine of that angle? Well, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, 4/5. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so we are on question number 20, the last question on section 3. If a is equal to 5 square root of 2 and 2a is equal to square root of 2x, what's the value of x? And honestly, this should take about 30 seconds. The reason is because I have an a here and a 2a here. I'm just going to multiply this whole thing by 2. So 2a is then equal to 10 square root of 2. But since I have a 2a here and a 2a here, I'm going to set them equal to each other. So that means this is equal to square root of 2x. I probably want to multiply this by 10 and put it under a square root sign, because then it'll still be equal to 10. So this is really equal to the square root of 100 times the square root of 2 is equal to square root of 2x. And if you remember in the exponent rules, I could combine these. So that means this is equal to square root of 200 is equal to square root of 2x, which then I square both sides. I get rid of these square roots. I'm left with 200 is equal to 2x. Divide both sides by 2, x is equal to 100. That is why this is a 30-second question. Like a boss. That wasn't so bad, was it? I know it seems difficult, but if you take the time, digest it, go through the problems again, and you'll see that most of the questions in the SAT have tricks and shortcuts to it. With that said, please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment below. I'll do my best to answer your question. You could even write down, I subscribed. That will help a lot. Thank you. Please also consider supporting this channel through Patreon. Your help would be greatly appreciated. Good luck to all of you. Please see the next video for section 4, the math portion. Thank you. See you there.